Shanto scored that got Bangladesh out of that situation of just a 7-run deficit, or was it something else?
Yeah, I think we'll reflect on the match, but I think you look at the way that the Bangladesh bowlers were able to apply pressure for a long period of time. I think we did it in periods, but we probably didn't do it for long enough. And then you always, as a batting unit, you're always looking at partnerships. And yeah, I think Shanto's innings was a great innings, and one that obviously a very timely one as well at the situation of the game. So yeah, there's many things you can look back on, and as a side, you're just looking to improve and hopefully learn from this and move forward in a few days' time.
Tim, how about the chase from yesterday? Was the wicket slightly more, did it break up a little more yesterday? Was it just accurate bowling?
I think the Bangladesh bowlers bowl well. They're very, very accurate in the way that they bowl and the style they bowl. We know over here in this part of the world, as the test moves on, it tends to get harder to bat, tends to take a little bit more turn and a little bit more variable bounce. So yeah, we know that when you come to this part of the world, but it's yeah, I think looking back, you just need a couple of partnerships, and like I said, with the ball, we were probably a little bit off in terms of our ability to build pressure for long periods of time.
Is there any regret regarding selection, because you left out? Obviously, you had to leave out certain players, but is there any at the end of this game, is there a regret about selection?
No, I think you look at the conditions and you look at the squad you've got and you pick your best 11. You look at the bowling group, and KJ's been a phenomenal performer for us. Southee was man of the series in the last series that he played. Ajaz has been a great bowler for us in this part of the world as well. So I think you look at it at the start of the test and you pick your strongest side, which you think is going to win you the game. So yeah.
And Bangladesh won that test match in BANvNZ. Again, that was a very tough time for Bangladesh because it was overseas countries. They never beaten New Zealand in New Zealand, and now they won here. Which one would you rate, or which one was a more heartbreaking loss for New Zealand?
We know we've come to know that Bangladesh are a tough side in this part of the world. They're very used to these conditions. It's a tough place to come and play. And for us in New Zealand, we've been very good for a long period of time in our own conditions. And yeah, I think every time you lose, it's not ideal. And I think that's just the sign of an ever improving Bangladesh team.
Tim, was there any tiredness from the World Cup? You guys have been on tour for a long time, and basically the whole squad, they have to go. Even guys like Ajaz Patel, I think they were there as reserves in the World Cup. So do you think there was any tiredness from that?
Ajaz wasn't in India, was he? So yeah, there's been a number of fresh guys come in that have been playing domestic cricket back home. 3 or 4 of them have been there. We had a little bit of a break after the World Cup, but I think as players, you know that it's a busy schedule. You know what's in front of you. You're trying to freshen up as well as you can. The guys were in good spirits before this. It's been a long time on the road for some, but that's part and parcel of being an international cricketer.
Having won the first World Test Championship and the last one, you guys didn't do as well as you perhaps sort of wanted, and now with a loss in the beginning, how do you guys fight back from this, and what do you think the target will be moving forward?
Nothing changes for us. You worry about what's in front of you, and what's in front of us is a test match in Dhaka. So yeah, I think you want to win every game you play, and you want to keep trying to improve as a side. So our next challenge is to try and be better than what we're in the last 5 days, and as players we look back on this, and we'll keep looking at ways to move forward.
You told about the bowlers exerting pressure on the opponent. When your bowlers in the second innings, your bowlers were putting pressure on Shanto counter-attacked in the initial innings. Is it a sort of disappointing that your batters couldn't do that when the Bangladesh bowlers were applying pressure?
I think it comes back to the nature of the play. You look at Kane Williamson; he likes to absorb pressure in different ways to someone like Daryl Mitchell. So I think it's about trusting your own style, and the only way you go about it. You look at Shanto's method is different to someone like Mominal's. So it's about how you go about it, and trusting your way.
How does New Zealand move on from this test match? Obviously, Dhaka has a little more, it's a slower surface of a I mean, it's usually quite helpful to spinners. Said. So how does New Zealand want to do this?
I think you're just looking to keep learning, keep looking to improve your game. We'll look back on this and we'll reflect on the last 5 days, and we'll pick ourselves up and we'll go again in a few days' time. But we know it's a challenging place to play cricket. I think we just got to be better for longer in all areas of the game. Yeah, it's great. Hotel's great, ground's great. So yeah, it's been a nice first visit to Sher-e, minus the result.
Cool, thanks guys.
Thank you.